So what is this used for? So what is the use of this? Hmm? Yes. So guys, can we say that EC2, everything in AWS, they are providing us as a web services only, no? Web service. Everything is through web only, no? To the AWS console only, no? Can we say that this EC2 is a web service from AWS that provides resizable compute services in the cloud? Can we say that? So EC2 is a web service from AWS that provides resizable compute services in the cloud. Let me write down. EC2 is a web service from AWS that provides resizable compute services in the cloud. So here the question here is, what is the meaning of resizable? Right? The question here is, what is the meaning of resizable? What is the meaning of resizable, guys? Most of the people might have already knew this, right? What is resizable meaning? The name itself says resizable meaning. Yes, fantastic. So resizable meaning. So guys, see in EC2, can you launch multiple EC2 instances? Yes, you can do. So can you increase the number of EC2 instances and decrease the number of instances whenever you need? Yes. Can you increase the capacity? Yes. Whenever, if you need 10 machines immediately, can you do it? Yes. If you need to remove 10 machines immediately, you can do it? Yes. You can increase huge memory capacity, CPU and all, increase it? Yes. You can decrease? Yes. So that is called resizable here. So scaling up, right? And then scale down or scale out and then scale in anytime. Right? What is the scale up and scale down called? Scale up and scale down called? Scale up and scale down is called scalability. Scale out and scale in called elasticity. Okay, getting it? So you can do resizable compute services in this cloud, in this EC2 especially. Okay, so that is called resizable meaning here. So this EC2 is regional or global? Yes, EC2 is regional. EC2 is regional. So what do we call servers in EC2? We should not call it as servers. You can call it as, but actually we call it as EC2 instances. Call it as EC2 instances. Getting it? Okay. So now let me give a small example that I always give. So let's see pricing models in AWS. What's that? Pricing models. How does the pricing work? Before I go a little bit here deeper into this, so generally, guys, most of the people have an like to have pani puri. Do you know pani puri? Golgappa. You know, right? Everyone knows that. So if I take that business, right, that small business, so can you just tell me how many different types of customers will be there? There are multiple, correct? I'm not saying number of customers, number of people. I'm saying different types, mentality. So for example, Okay, there is someone, let's say, first customer, one of the customers says whatever he want. Let's say, for example, now he thought like, okay, I want to eat that one. I want to eat that pani puri. So what that guy will do? So he'll take money and he'll go directly, right, and then he'll just give it to that vendor and then ask eat it, and then how much he'll ask, and then he'll pay and he'll go. Correct. This is the most of the people. Whenever there is a demand, you go ahead, eat, pay how much it is, and done. There is another different type of customer where this customer, you might have seen these people, guys. So they don't eat it. So they'll say that okay, usko khane do pehle, right? Let him eat. Let them others eat. So he'll make sure that no one is there next to that guy, and then he'll wait for certain time, and then he'll go to the person and say, "Hey, Bhaiya, I'll come to you only. See, there is also another Pani Puri guy in the other road. I don't go to him. I'll come to you only. I'll eat here only." Why he's saying all these things? Yes, for the discount. Correct, correct, guys. So so instead of paying 20 rupees, maybe he might be paying 15 rupees. But the Pani Puri guy vendor, how do he trust this guy will come to me all the time? Hmm? What do you say? How does the Pani Puri guy trust him? He'll say that, but how will he trust? Yes, advance. See that? So, so basically, this Pani Puri guy will say that, hey, give me the little bit advance, and then definitely I'll give you the discount. So, like this, the Pani Puri guy itself has multiple different types of people. How about AWS? In AWS also, there are different types of customers. We have it, right? So mainly in AWS, the pricing is, you might have know, the pricing model is like this: pay as you use. The price is pay as you use. In EC2, how many servers that you are using, you need to pay for that. How much time that you are using, you need to pay for that time. It's same like your electricity. Look, guys, in your home, you'll have a fan, right? So what you do, you switch on the fan. Whenever this fan is on, your bill is on. Whenever you switch off your fan, the billing is off for that fan. Correct? Guys, yes, right? So here also the same. So if you launch one EC2 instance and you are using it for, let's say, for example, few hours, you need to pay only for those few hours. If you're using that EC2 instances continuously, how many hours that you have used, you need to pay for those hours. So here AWS we need to pay every hour. Need to pay every hour. Got it? We need to pay every hour. So guys, the billing will be happening every hour, but the bill that we should be paying it is every month only. But the billing will be calculated. Let's say, for example, guys, I said, you need to pay every hour. Let's say I have launched one EC2 instance and I use for 5 minutes, and then I have terminated it. Terminated meaning, killing it. And then I have launched another EC2 instance, and then I use for 5 minutes and then terminated it. Can you tell me how much that AWS cost for me for this thing? Exactly, guys. So AWS will charge me 2 hours. So I said, you need to pay hour, right? It doesn't matter whether you are using it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, or 1 second also, the minimum billing that will be happening is per hour. Got it? And if I am using my instance like 1 hour, 5 minutes, then how many hours billing? 2 hours. If I use for 5 minutes, 1 hour. Getting it? So so we know this, right? So here you can you launch the EC2 instance, okay? And when the EC2 is running, bill or no bill? When it is running, bill. When it is in stop state, bill or no bill? No bill, right? So whenever it stop, you can start it. Whenever you start, that meaning it is running only. Whenever I reboot it, right, you can now terminate it. For terminate, bill or no bill? No bill. Getting it? Getting it? Okay. So so as I said, guys, you should not worry because AWS is giving you 750 hours free per month for your EC2 instances. So in this free term, that's the reason why I said, right, you should don't use your old accounts, use the new account. Because whenever you created a new account, your first 1 year is free, and that too 750 hours free per month. That when you launch an EC2 instance and then you can use it. But remember, 750 hours meaning it is not for only one EC2 instance. Is let's say, for example, I have 5 EC2 instances running for 5 hours. Then how much it is calculated? So this one is running for 5 hours. So total how many hours? Yes, 25 hours will get calculated. Because we have how many instance? 5 EC2 instance. So remember so it is 750 is 50 hours is not only for one machine. It is for all the EC2 instance that you have launched. So that's the reason why I always say whenever you launch the EC2 instance, you do the practice and then you terminate the machine. That is the best practice. Here, not in your real time. In real time, do not terminate it, guys. I mean, you can terminate it, but you should have your machines up and running, right? Yeah. So now here, based on this, AWS came up with few pricing models. So the first one pricing model is as like for the first customer, it's like on-demand instances. What do we call? On-demand instances. Write down that. On-demand instances. Chiti, are you there with me? Sleepy today? Mm. Okay. On-demand instances. Okay. What is this on-demand instances? On-demand instances meaning, guys, now I have a requirement. I have a requirement to launch 5 machines. What I do? I go ahead and then launch the EC2 instance. And then I don't need that now. I can go and kill it. And I've used for 10 hours and then I'll pay for 10 hours money. Correct? Finish. It is just like, right? Fixed price. So I use for 5 hours and you pay for that 5 hours. That price AWS will say that, Arey, Babu, so this machine is cost this much and you have used for this many hours, you pay for it. Yes, you go and use it, pay it, and then go. That is on demand instances, on demand. So on demand, you can go and launch the machines. So here it is fixed price. So fixed price means hourly only, no? Fixed price means hourly. So, and then pay for what you for what you have used. Pay for what you have used. So pay per hour. Okay. So guys, this customer will give any commitment to provider to AWS? No commitment. No commitment. So does he pay any advance? Like, instead of calling it as advance, can we say that upfront payment? Is there any upfront payment we'll do? No. No upfront payment. No. So he comes and then he'll use and then he'll go. Simple. Is there any predictable usage here in on-demand instances? No. No. Predictable usage. No predictable usage. So this is on-demand instances, this pricing model. So if you have this kind of requirement, just go ahead and launch it, pay it, and use it, and then pay it. That's it. That is on-demand instances. So the second one, what we have here is reserved instances. What is that called? Everyone? Reserve instances. Write down. Reserve instances. The reserve instances. So what is this reserve instances? Reserve instances is just like the other guy here. Guys, that meaning, right? Yeah. So here reserve instance meaning the other type of customer where it is like for commitment. So here long-term commitment, correct? Long-term commitment. So this guy is committing, no, for this vendor. So he'll say that hey, AWS, I'll come to you only. I'll be using only you only. Okay. So then AWS will say that, okay, you need to do the commitment. So for how many years that you need to do the commitment? Everyone, it's 1 or 3 years. How many years? 1 or 3 years, right? And these are all interview questions and certification questions. 1 or 3 years. 1 or 3 years. So tell me, do we need to do an upfront here? Yes, upfront payment is required. Upfront payment is required. You can do the full payment. You can do the partial payment also. Upfront payment. And you know one thing, if you do this upfront payment, I mean, if you choose the long-term commitment, 1 or 3 years, right? You can commit it for 1 year or 3 years. So if you're going for 3 years, the 2 years will be covered, correct? So that is a business trick that they are doing it. So if you're planning it, commitment, reserving the instances for 1 year, you know how much discount that you will get? 70 up to 75% you will get. 75% discount on hourly price. It's a huge discount. Right? Let's say, for example, you are paying 10 rupees per hour for one EC2 instance. And if you reserve it and commit it and do some partial upfront, then how much you will get it? 70 to 75% out of it? Yes, you need to pay just only 2.5 rupees per hour for that machine. So here it is predictable usage or unpredictable? A predictable usage. Okay. There are different types of reserve instances, which is called standard RI, standard reserve instances. That meaning which we are talking about, which will get 72 to 75% discount. You will get 75% discount wala, you get it. And then we have something called convertible, convertible RI. Convertible RI, let's say you have reserved some 4 GB RAM machine. Later you need to change it. So if you want to change the capacity of the instance anytime, then go for that convertible RI. And then finally we have scheduled RI. Scheduled RI meaning that you can reserve it for shorter term. Reserve it for short term, like a fraction of a day, week, or a month. So if you want to reserve it for fraction of a day, like short term, then you can go for scheduled RI. So these are the different types of reserve instances that you have. So now question is on what basis that you need to go for on demand and reserve. Now you got clear understanding what's the difference between these two and why do we go? Simple. What is the main reason? Guys, what is the main reason? Yes, cost. Now, Andre, now you understood on what basis people will go for on demand and reserve. So still AWS is giving you these many options, but still people go for on demand. Let's say I'll give you an example. See, you join one company, right? You join one company, and then your manager says that, hey, see, Andre, uh, we are getting a lot of bill, especially from EC2. So what this Andre went is he went in and he saw all the machines are on demand only. Now, the question that he'll ask to his manager is, hey manager, tell me since how long you are using these machines, these instances? And he said more than 1 year. So are you planning to use the same machine for the next 2 years or 1 year? Yes, the manager said that. Yes, this is a big project and this project it will be going on for the next 5 years. What is the first thing that you do? Go and reserve it. If you're paying, let's say $1,000, right? And then if you go and reserve it, and you will get super huge discount on top of your monthly price. So now you'll get a good discount. Then Andre will get a promotion saying that, hey, you have discount, you have reduced my cost, and then you take promotion, salary hike. Understood? So that's the main reason people will go for the reserve instances for a cost optimization. And then we have something called spot instances. What is that? What is a spot instances? So spot instances. So spot instances meaning, guys, many people might have know. Do you know bidding, auctioning? Auctioning. Yes, right. Everyone knows that auctioning. So auctioning meaning, you know, right? So there will be a minimum price fixed, correct? So let's say there will be a nice painting, right? You know, or nice something, right? And then that guy will say that, hey, this painting will start from 5,000 rupees. That's a base price. And people comes and whoever needs that, they'll just do the auctioning, bidding for 10,000, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50, 60, 70, 1 lakh like that. And finally, one sound will come, talk, 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 and then she'll come and then she'll ask for 2 lakhs rupees and then she'll take it off and she'll go. So the thing is here, guys, that is called bidding and auctioning. Here also in AWS, you can do this bidding and auctioning for your infrastructure. How? Tell me, guys, you have taken, let's say, 8 GB or 16 GB RAM of EC2 instance. Can you tell me, will you be using the 60 GB all the time, 24 hours? No. How much, memory or your capacity is getting wasted there? It has been allocated to you. So like this, AWS has so much of that unused infrastructure. So he got an idea that why can't we auction or do auctioning? Why can't we auction our infrastructure? So now, can I go and action? Let's say for example, you have a nice painting. It's my wish, right? That painting cost is 50,000 rupees, for example. Can I go and bid it for 5,000? Yes, I can. That is my capacity. But do you get it for 5,000? No. So AWS will fix for this certain capacity. They'll say that this is the fixed base price. On top of it, will you go and do this auctioning below or above? Right? So you need to give your price, which is more than that base price. Then only that machine that you will get it. So if it is spot, okay, now let's say let's say huge 100 GB of 100 GB of RAM, you will get it for 5 rupees. Yes. If AWS is using the base price as 5 rupees, you pay 5.5 rupees, you will get that machine. But guys, will that machine will be always with you? No. Anytime this is like, it's not a fixed for you. So you can use it for huge capacity for very cheaper price. You can use it. And then if someone is bidding more than that, and that machine will be out from your account. Right. So guys, anything related to in certification, anything related to bidding, anything related to right auctioning, right? Anything related to auctioning is spot. Okay. So huge capacity. If you want huge capacity for cheaper price, you know how much you'll get a discount? Almost 90% discount you'll get it here. So this is not fixed. So this is okay. Let's say, will you use this kind of spot instances for your application servers, database servers, and all? Obviously, no. So let's say, for example, you have a requirement that you need to do some processing, right? And that processing need 10 machines. Okay. 10 machines and then 2 GB each server that you are taking it. Instead of going and taking 10 machines, 2 GB, can you go and spot it and get it 50 GB of RAM for just only 5 rupees and use it for 10 minutes and finish your job? See, for this kind of requirements, they'll go for this spot. Yes. Understood? And then next one is we are coming with something called dedicated host. What is that? Write down. Dedicated host. Dedicated host. What is this dedicated host? Listen carefully. So guys, in AWS in the backend, they have the host machines, correct? They have the host machines. Guys, we know host machine in the backend. Yes or no? So they have a hardware. On top of it, you have hypervisor. Remember, you have learned in starting this. CT, yes or no? Hardware, hardware, hypervisor, hypervisor. Okay. So this one I call it as host machine. Okay. So on top of it, what do we create? VMs. Okay. Now we have this guy, let's say for example, here we have Kiran. Okay. We have Kiran. Kiran Kiran has launched the EC2 instance. So whenever Kiran has launched the EC2 instance, that EC2 instance will go and sit over here. Yes or no? Yes. Kiran went and launched the EC2 instance. It went and sit over here. Kiran is one of the customers. Okay. So now Suhas also went and launched the EC2 instance. Where does it will go? It will go and sit here on the same host. Yes. So it will go and launch. So the EC2 instance will be sitting over here. Yes or no, guys? Right? So whenever multiple EC2 instance, guys, multiple customers are launching the EC2 instance. So, and it is getting launched in the same host machine. You tell me there will be any connection between these two EC2 instances if it is two different customers? No, it doesn't. Correct? It doesn't. So even though you are on the same host machine and multiple customers are launching the EC2 instance, because in the backend, do we need to really worry about all these things, how it is happening? As a from customer point of view, no. So customer will launch the EC2 instance and the EC2 instance will go and get in launched in the host machine. It can be in the same machine, it can be in the different machine. Yes or no? So here we call it as tenancy. Tenancy is shared or dedicated here? Is shared. Tenancy is shared because the tenancy here is the shared because Kiran and Suhar are using the same host machine to have their EC2 instances. Now there is a guy here who is here, let's say Monica. So Monica, she went and launched the EC2 instance, right? She went and launched the EC2 instance and it will go and launch in the other machine. And she says that, no, I don't want the EC2, I don't want any other customer to launch EC2 instance in my host machine. I need dedicated machine, dedicated host. So here the tenancy is dedicated. So this host machine is dedicated only for this customer called Monica. So whenever she launch an EC2 instance, she will be launching only on that. She'll be launching only on that host machine. Understand? So that is called the shared and then host. And you know very well. So which one costs more? The dedicated one is expensive. It is same like your hostel rooms, guys. In your Amirpet in Hyderabad, so in one room, how many people will be there in your hostel? Let's say 6 people or, so that is the shared one, right? You're sharing the room. And if you are going for the separate flat, separate house, that is dedicated for you. And you know very well which one is costly, which one is expensive, which one is cheaper. So most of the people, 90%, they'll go for only the shared one, tenancy shared. But very rare customers, they don't want to share, which have very confidential data, they'll go with the tenancy called dedicated. It's gone. Lal Singh. So that's the reason you cannot store your data on that machine. You should be like do the processing and then put it in some other place. So that's the reason it's for use it and then kill it. Yeah. Right. So these dedication machines, when do you use it? So basically, as I said, like if you need to have a dedicated stuff and otherwise, so sometimes you have license issues. So licenses, sometimes the licenses will not work on virtualization environment, correct? Right. So there might be few regulations, as I said, yes, and then their licenses related issues. For that reason, the people will go with the dedicated. Yes, only one customer will be using the dedicated one. So if any customer need dedicated physical, it's machine. It's almost physical machine only, no? Which is used for the customer. Okay, and also there is also one more model, call it as saving plan. So all these are related to your cost optimization only. It is same as reserve instances, right? But it has little bit different strategy. Okay, it is same as RI, but it has little bit different strategy. Let's say, for example, you can little bit different strategy, guys. Reserve instances, you can do it for only one region, one availability zone, one type of machines and all. But savings plans, you can go all the way through the region wise or availability zone wise like this. Some different strategy will be there, but mostly RI and reserve savings plans looks very similar. This recently came. Why are you going to EBS volume? That's not at all related. EBS volume charging is based on the size. That's it. Hmm? Will there be any difference in the performance when we use share versus host? It's not. It's not. Performance will be the same. One second. Give me a second, guys. One second. Okay. What is your question? Guys, it just see dedicated host is just about in the back end how it is. It's all about from see as I'm telling you, we are just going little bit deeper and understanding the back end also. So that meaning, so from customer point of view, shared and dedicated, which is costlier, which you have a dedicated host machine, and the pricing will be different for that. Okay, and there someone is asking the difference with the savings plan. Do we need to learn more? So when I say that this fine, that itself is fine. That's it. Okay, we know to go deeper. So if at all you want to know, so you can get a discount based on the long-term usage. As I said, like up to, it is same as reserve instances only, but you need to commit to a certain type of usage. Okay. and it is locked to a specific. See, when I say this, guys, I need to learn. I need to talk about little bit more like instance family that we'll talk about in the next paint. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Price difference will be there, Shravan. So some 75% discount for standard, and rest it will be in 60s. Okay. So let me. Where, Babu? Do we get discount in other instance too? Which instance? On demand, do we have any discount? Discount concept will be happening only on reserve and spot, nothing else. Okay. Next important thing is here we have something called EC2 families or instance types. Write down very important wording. Write down instance types. What is that? Instance types. So, guys, we have different types of customers. No, like one customer will say that, hey, I need more memory. One customer will say, I need more CPU. One customer will say, I need more storage. One customer need, I need more powerful machine to for heavy machines. So for these different types of requirement, AWS came up with different types, instance types, right? So one the family is general instances. This is one type of family where you see all general, right? For general purpose, you can use it. For general purpose, you use it, guys. So this will be good for all your general purpose related things. So there are few machines like there is one family called memory instances. This memory instances, when do you use it? If you need more memory, right, for your application, or if you have a requirement. So if you have a requirement of, hey, I need more memory, so then you can choose. There is a family called memory instances. Inside that, you have different types of machine. I'll just talk about what is instance type soon, but these are all families. CPU instances, if you have more, if you need more CPU power, go for it. Storage instances, if you need more storage, go for it. And then GPU instances, that if you need more graphics related or heavy machines, go for this. So like this, AWS came up with different categories. Categories, not families, nothing but categories only here. So inside this, each family, general instances, memory instances, CPU, storage, like this in each and every family, we have something called instance type. What do we have? Instance types. So this instance type comes with the combination of CPU and memory, guys. So I'll tell you. Now you want to go and launch one EC2 instance. For launching the EC2 instance, you need to select the instance type. That meaning that instance type contains how much CPU that you need, how much RAM that you need. You need to have a capacity, no, guys. Guys, you need to have capacity, no. So that capacity, where do you select? You have a predefined capacity already prepared by AWS in the form of instance type. So AWS will say that, hey, I have an instance type called T2 Nano. T2 Nano comes with 0.5 GB RAM and then one virtual CPU. That is T2 Nano capacity. you have T2 micro, which comes with 1 GB RAM and one virtual CPU. T2 small, let's say 2 GB RAM, right? And then two CPUs. I'm just giving an example. After small, what you have? Nano, micro, small, medium, correct? T2 medium, let's say you have 4 GB RAM. Let's say T2 after small, medium, what you have? Large, right? Let's say 8 GB RAM. After that, T2 X large, correct? 16 GB RAM. So like this, guys, after that you have Excel, 2XL, right? Like this, you have different types of instance types available. Okay. So now the question here is, in our free tier, in our course, which is the instance type that we should be choosing it always? T2 micro. What is that, guys? T2 micro only. Guys, you need to go with the T2 micro only throughout the course here with me. So here itself, the sugar patients will come into picture. So when I say go ahead and launch T2 micro machine, so they might be using some other uh, T2 large or medium, something like that. So then they'll get the bill. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Whenever you're going and launching the machines with me in my course, go with only T2 micro, which is free tier eligible for us. Guys, now understood what is instance types now? So we have different instance types like this, families. Okay, so these are all the families available inside the AWS. So it is based on the requirement. You just need to go ahead and pick it. So you have T1 family, T2 family, T3 family. Like this, you have different types of families, right? So we have so each and every family is specialized for something. As I said, few families are specialized for memory, few families are specialized for CPU, for storage and GPU, like this. Like R is R mostly good for memory related things. C is mostly good for CPU related things. For heavy and big machines, based on your requirement, you just need to pick it up. Okay. So few questions here. Let's say, for example, I have one EC2 instance. That's very important. See, my EC2 instance has 2 GB RAM. 2 GB RAM meaning, let's say this is my with instance type, it is T2 small. Now I want to increase from 2 GB RAM to 4 GB RAM, or let's say 8 GB RAM. How do we do that? So what is the meaning of increasing the capacity? Scalability only, no? Uh, Scalability meaning what? Increasing the capacity of the machine, right? So scale up and scale down, correct? Scale up and scale down. So how do we do the scale up and scale down now? How do we achieve the scalability? Scalability can be achieved by changing the instance type, correct? By changing the instance type. Guys, if I change the instance type from T2 small to T2 large, I change it, guys. Now this will become 8 GB RAM. Correct, guys? This is called scalability. Do you remember how do you achieve elasticity in AWS? Using auto scaling, remember? And now the point has come. How do you achieve the scalability in AWS? By changing the instance type. Write down that word, changing the instance type. Write down that word, changing the instance type. By changing the instance type. So anytime you can change it, guys. anytime you do scale up, but whenever you're doing the scale up, data is lost. No data lost. Guys, all your data is stored in where? For your EC2 instance, all your data is stored in EBS, EBS volume. Where is stored? EBS volume. Correct? Guys, volumes only, no hard disk. Why it will store in S3? Vidya. Right? So anytime, so the data is not lost because all your data is stored in EBS volume. We are talking about instance capacity. Instance capacity is different, volumes are different. I told you, everything we need to assemble it. You need to launch an EC2 instance by selecting the instance type. The instance types will come with your CPU and memory, and later you need to attach the EBS volume. So all your data will be in EBS volume. So anytime you can go and scale up and scale down also. Whenever scale down also, no data lost. But the thing is, will you do this scale up and down on fly? Is that possible? No. So you need to stop the EC2 instance to change the instance type. To change the instance type. What is that called? Downtime. Downtime is required. All right. If you change the instance type, data in the instance will not be lost. Just for your reference, I have written here. Is this clear? Understood? Everyone? Instance type. So guys, remember, whenever you get up early morning from your bed also, if I ask you, hey, what is the instance type that we should launch? Then you should say what? T2 micro only. Understood? Okay. Now, guys, there are, see, we'll be talking many things, right? We'll be talking many things. So there are few things that we talk and we cannot do the practice because those are charged. One of the thing is called burstable performance instances, this topic, right? Burstable performance instances. What is this called? Write down this word, burstable performance instances. Guys, these burstable performance instances, it's just a matter of checkbox whether you need yes or no, right? You need this yes or no, you just need to select it. But what is this burstable performance instances? Why need to be selected? So as this is just a selection, this completely in the backend is taken care by AWS itself. But why do we need to select that? We need to know. Correct? So let's take an example. This is my EC2 instance. This is all real time, guys. So I have application inside the EC2 instance. Okay. Okay. So this has the capacity. Let's say this is T2 small. Okay. Which has a two virtual CPUs. Okay, now all of a sudden there got a huge traffic on this machine. All of a sudden there is a huge traffic coming on this machine. Huge traffic. Okay. Whenever the huge traffic is coming in, these two CPUs will be sufficient? Tell me. These two CPUs are not sufficient. When if it is not sufficient, what will be the performance? There will be a performance impact, no? There will be a performance impact. So if you don't want to have the performance impact, that meaning you need to have more CPUs, no? Yes or no? Yes. At that runtime, AWS will give you CPU as credits. So AWS will give you CPU credits. AWS will give you CPU credits. So right, CPU credits. So the C how you can ask, sir, how many CPU credits that AWS will give? So it's purely depend upon the instance type. CPU credits depend upon the instance. Let's say you are using T2 small, T2 micro. Let's say, for example, it gives 6 CPUs credits. Whenever the 6 CPU credits are added, how many CPUs total in total? 8 CPUs now. So that meaning the performance will get easily handled with the 8 CPUs now? Yes. So, and remember that if that's 8 CPU got exhausted, again, it will come back to the normal position. So like this in the back end, AWS will give, that's why it's called burstable. So when it reaches its base level, it will burst. So EC2 instance will enter into the burstable mode and give high performance for limited period of time only. If it is giving for longer time, what is the use of big instance types then? Correct? We have big X large, triple X large, all these things are there, no? So people will go with this only, no? So no. So if we want to go with smaller and with cheaper price, and then basically we don't want to have your application impacted, then you can go for the CPU credits. And this CPU credits is applicable only for T2 and T3 type only. Only support burstable, right, burstable instances. So this also call it as T2 or T3 unlimited, right? It is called burstable, guys. So mostly people don't go for this. So just in case, so we need to cover all the topics now. So each and every topic also we are covering it. So that's a concept of burstable performance instances. Understood? Oh, I said T3, Mm. That's what I said. It's billable. Okay, I'll write it out. Now I'm coming to this reserve instances, right? So in this reserve instances, that's what I know, right? Why I hesitated to talk about here savings plan. See, guys, reserve instances, basically, you reserve a specific instance type. Where is the It is still T2T. Oh, okay. Why okay. My finger is good at two, auto type T3. Okay, good. So, guys, here reserve instances, you can reserve it a specific instance attribute, like you can reserve it for particular instance type, you can reserve it for particular region, you can reserve it for particular tenancy, you can reserve it for particular operating system. Understood? Reserve instances scope is regional. It's regional. Capacity is in availability zone, guys. See here. That's the reason. When I say don't think too much, don't think. Otherwise, let me write down somewhere here. Reserve instances scope is Regional. Right? Regional. Meaning in specific availability zone only. So you can reserve it, let's say 1A. You have reserved it 1A, right? And it is okay. No, not good. Not good for you. Let's not go. When time comes, I'll go deeper. Not now. Unnecessarily, you'll get confused. That's what it is going beyond my thinking. It's not good for your health. Understood, guys? Is there any questions still here? Yes. Yes, Siraj. Which one? Which is the last one? Basu. Do you read this? Read this and now tell me. Read this. What is the use of writing? Read this and tell me if you understood yes or no. Guys, that is the wording. Instead of burstable, they use a word called T233 unlimited. That's a word. T233 unlimited, if you see it, that's meaning it's burstable. Correct. Correct, Khan. Everyone clear till here, everyone? Guys, understood? Take the screenshots. There is no question of why Shravan Kumar. It's purely depend upon the requirement. If you don't want to go for auto scaling, if you want to use this burstable, go ahead. In auto scaling also, it uses instance types, no CPU and memory. This is for individual machine level. It's just a name. There's no T meaning Tata or nothing like that. T3 meaning that's a family type. Yeah. That question, I think you're missing Lal Singh. Do you see this here? On what basis we'll get the credits? Do you see this here clearly written upon this? Okay. Depend upon the instance type that you have selected, the CPU credits will get in the backend. Yes, I don't think so. You need to concentrate this much deeper here because it's just a matter of checkbox whether you need yes or no. Right? Everything will be happening automatically in the backend. How many credits and all. But you should know burstable performance. This is the concept, this is the logic, and that is billable. And what is the concept behind it? How it is providing, what basis it providing. Like I think it's not that much needed. If I'm suggesting what is the use of exploring, Rohit, why explore? Does anyone did this Okta setup? Anyone? See, Kiran has done. You did this guy. Who is that? Kiran, have you done? K Khan, have you done, guys? Okay, try it out and then you can share those details in the group so that other people can also do it. Okay, take the screenshot, guys. Once you're done